Hey guys, today I wanted to do a really fun lesson on the classical guitar tremolo technique. Most common question with the classical guitar tremolo technique: how fast are you actually supposed to go? So, there's two sides to it. If you go too slowly, the tremolo sort of falls apart and it doesn't really work like a continuous effect. You see, the point of the tremolo, in my opinion, is that you're getting sort of a mandolin picking effect that can allow you to actually crescendo and decrescendo with a single note. Whereas, the guitar, it's not really good at sustaining notes, and you actually can't change the volume of the note after you strike it. It only comes down and it gets softer, right? So there's definitely going to be a minimum where the technique breaks down and doesn't quite sound continuous, because if you're going thumb, ring, middle, index, right, then what can happen is every time the thumb strikes the note, you hear the break for the thumb. So it doesn't work like a continuous tremolo. So let's get our metronomes out and start practicing. We're going to set our metronomes at 100 beats per minute to start out with. That's a bit on the slow side, but I want to see exactly what that minimum threshold is for the tremolo. So at 100 BPM, that means that 4 of our tremolo notes are going to land under one click. So as you can see there, you sort of see the metronome unravel at the seams a little bit, and you basically just hear 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're not hearing a continuous tremolo underneath the beat at 100. Let's try 120. Okay, so that seems to be a little better, but I'm still not getting the continuity that I want. Let's try it at 160. So there is where I'm actually finally getting that desired singing mandolin effect that I would want. So it essentially sounds like a mandolin with tremolo picking, right? So 160 seems to be a good starting point for the tremolo. Let's see what happens when we go on to 180. I think it's not bad. I'm still able to control the thumb more or less the way that I want. And and the tremolo is actually just getting more and more continuous as we go on. So 180 is also a good tempo. Let's try it at 200. That was okay. I noticeably hear that my thumb is having to work harder. So that's definitely something to consider if the tremolo pattern in your piece is skipping strings a lot. That if you're having to skip, for example, from the 6th string all the way to the 1st or the 2nd string in that tremolo pattern, or something similar to that, 200 may overextend you a little bit. Now, every piece, of course, you have to give consideration to rubato, and that the tempo may change even a little bit from section to section, right? But it is good to know where you stand as far as the maximum ability that you have to play the tremolo. So this whole experiment of trying the different tempos and even going faster and approaching maybe what might be too fast, it's a very important part of the process, because we always have to play at 80% of what our maximum technical ability is. We never play at 100, because if you play at 100, you're going to have a huge problem, and you're going to have a lot of mistakes and lack of control and lack of confidence when you're playing, because you're always at the roof of your technique. Okay, So let's try 220. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining me for this practice session. Let me know what you think.